I was going to read a little bit from the resolution that the City Council passed earlier this week, but since I understand we're trying to keep to a very tight schedule, what I'm just going to let you know is that there are copies in the back if people would like to grab, or they're being, I'm sorry, they are being passed around. Great, excellent. The most important thing I can tell you is that this passed unanimously. This is not something that you should have to applaud. And that was kind of the conversation I was having while we're waiting. If I have just a few moments to speak to you, what I want to do is I want to take this opportunity while we're in church to confess. And I want to confess that I am ashamed. I am ashamed that I am an elected official, and that this is the most that I have really done, and this is a piece of paper. I'm ashamed because I know Barbara Mikulski, and I know Ben Cardin, and I worked for both of them, and I'm ashamed that I have not gone down to Washington and done what I should have, which is laying across the doorway into their office and told them that it is not a matter of how politic your actions are. It is a matter of survival. I will take a few seconds to speak to the cost of this war to my district, really to the city. I understand that we've already spent roughly $1 trillion. There are estimates that say we're moving on to $3 trillion on this. And if you break it down just very straightforwardly, that works out to about $60 billion for Maryland. And when I think of how every day I have people with great ideas for great programs coming to me for new things that aren't being done, when I get the reports that our water and sewage infrastructure needs $1 billion worth of work over the next 10 years, when I am told that our schools have close to $1 billion in capital repair needs, and we have in the tens of millions set aside to do that, that's when I say, if only there was a big pot of money somewhere else that we could use to fix our city. And it turns out there is a big pot of money, and it's being used to fix somebody else's city. Now, if it was somebody else's city in Pennsylvania or Michigan or California, I would grumble a little bit, but that's part of what being a member of the United States is. But these cities are in another country, and we're repairing them because we blew them up. And
repairing them.
I would like to ask you for, not forgiveness, but I would like to ask you for acceptance, that I realize that it is not enough to simply know this needs to be done, and not enough to just vote for a resolution, but that it's important that we all do everything we can to end this war as quickly as possible. And if that means embarrassing ourselves by laying down on